First off, shout out to Amir because he made me think about this because he just put out a video and I like actually watching videos, controversial thoughts or not, where he put out his favorite. Nah, not, let me do that right. My bad. What he thought were the worst Tupac tracks, and I'll put it right here so you guys can see, and then the best or what he felt like were the best Tupac tracks. He does it by tier, of course, and it's gonna clearly cause controversy. And we all know why. Because if you are somebody that's listening to Tupac, if you're somebody that is a Pac fan as a young person, as a older person, Tupac fans are it's a cult fan base. There is only so much you can say when it comes to your favorite artists, right? Or somebody's favorite artist that has passed, especially when it's Tupac, Biggie. I feel like nowadays you got the Juice Worlds, the Exodus. It's okay to still say that there were certain songs that maybe did hit. I think there is still this thing in hip hop and in music in general where because an artist is somebody that is beloved very highly. I mean, and this isn't just talking about the ones that passed, or we're also talking about the ones that are still here. We're talking about the Jays of the world, the Nas's of the world, where no matter what they put out, you won't be told constantly that that was the most fire shit. There's no misses. Now, I'm not saying every single song, but it feels like a majority of the music. Now, there is times where I've listened to those artists that I previously mentioned, and I'm like, this just isn't no, no, this isn't the one. This just is not the one, and I'm not going to let the OG logic or the gatekeeping logic dictate me into believing that this is a good track. Now, I'm not going to sit here and state specific tracks because I didn't list specific tracks that I'm talking about. I wanted to just talk about the artist, and I wanted to talk about how these hip hop artists, the ones that are legends, get away with a lot of bullshit. And when people try to call them out for their musical bullshit, this is only talking about music sense. I'm not talking about all that other shit. It's like you can't even have the conversation to say I don't like this song or I don't like the music or I don't like the artists and how they convey themselves in their music. Whatever the case may be, Pac has put out some very deep cuts. Pac has put out some very aggressive cuts. Pac has put out damn near every emotion on wax. And that's what makes Pac great. I think there's a lot more that makes Pac great that, there are people that really have stayed in tune and have watched every documentary and know every single bit that they can know about Pac will tell you about Pac, right? Same thing with Big. One thing that I've always noticed, and it is very hard for them to say, well, this track, this wasn't the one for me. And I'm talking about the ones that were in that time. And the same thing and the same concept in nowadays. Once an artist becomes this legend or gets into this legendary status, we think we have to just like every single song that they put out, or we have to enjoy everything that they've ever said, everything they've ever conveyed. And that's just not true. And I know I'm over exaggerating my thought process on liking every song. Again, it's an overemphasis. It's not literally every song, but you know what I'm saying, and you know the type of listeners I'm talking about. The ones that, again, their top five is Big, Pac, J, M, and maybe Kendrick now. I don't know. Nas. Did I forget Nas? I might have forgot Nas. If I forgot Nas, put Nas in that fist. It's the typical five, right? And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful manner because I understand why that's the typical five. I understand why we look at those five very prominently, and it's very hard not to appreciate and respect what they brought to the game, A, and B, what was my B? I'm just going to keep this in. This is my thought process sometimes. And B, why that artist had the impact that they had or is still currently having the impact that they had. You might have Kanye in their team. That's another five. That's another fifth that I might be missing, but he's more not the hip hop artist. He's more of just the hip hop. He's everywhere in hip hop. He got the producer tags, or not the producer tag. He's got the producer credits, of course. He's one of the greatest producers of all time. He's one of the most influential artists of all time, just artists in general. And I'm not going to sit here and have a Kanye conversation because I still have my feelings about that guy. But anyways, let me continue. My whole point is this. We can appreciate, we can respect, we can honor the impact that our favorite hip hop artists have. And when they come out with some bullshit, and I mean some bullshit, especially nowadays, and this is about Pac, of course, rest in peace, Pac. He's not, here to do that anymore. But legends that are still alive, still breathing, still doing well, it is okay to admit when that shit is some bullshit, when that shit is some trash, when that shit is ass. You can admit that. That's fine. We can do that. We will live and still believe that those artists are great. Just the music sometimes that they be putting out be some bullshit. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all stay blessed. Have a good day. I'm out.